and welcome to episode 74, I think, of the Stress Knits podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn on Instagram, Stacyelstone on Instagram, Stress Knits on Ravelry, which I'm trying to use more. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome. I am trying this again because I had to use the bathroom, and I tried to splice some stuff together and there was a whole uploading issue. So we're just going to record this again and it's going to be fine. So as you will see, I'm recording in my living room again, packing stuff because my daughter's sleeping and she's very sick. She has bronchiolitis. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Essentially it's just a really bad cold. Yeah, so she's sleeping. It's been a rough few days, but yeah. So before we get into this, I just wanted to say a quick sorry if anything last week got a little too heated for you. Totally get it. It's usually not in my character to argue with people on the internet because it's really just not worth it. But there were a few comments that put me in a really bad place. And I thought it was really important to be interactive last week with what I was talking about. And I think I said what I wanted to say, but I also don't think I said everything that I wanted to say. So there have been people who have said it much more eloquently in regards to the diversity and inclusion conversation that's happening in our community. So I encourage you to listen to a lot of people because they're much more eloquent than I am about the whole thing. But yeah, because I kind of just wanted to clarify where I stood about some stuff, like with the bags, because I've been such a huge supporter for the past few years. So I thought it was important for me to speak on that, and some people did not agree with that very loudly, which is fine. We don't all have to agree. But I wish I would have talked more about the inclusion part of it and how a lot of people just don't get the solace in this community that people like me do. So anyway, we're just gonna keep moving on. We're gonna keep learning with each other. We're going to keep sharing resources because I think that's very important. Yeah, so as I come across information that comes with learning about race and inclusion, white privilege, gender bias and inclusion, body image, and all of that stuff, I will share it as I come across it. So one of the things that I just happened across this week, I was working out, and I like to listen to podcasts while I was working out, but I was out of my true crime podcast, so I was listening to Stuff Mom Never Told You, and they did an episode about Fitspo, which is apparently fit inspiration, and the toxicity. I don't know if that's a word, or if I'm saying it correctly, because, anyway, so, and just how toxic that can be to our body image, and, just how damaging it can be sometimes. So, you know, when people are trying to be inspirational and say things like, gotta burn off that cookie I ate, and it's just like, you can have a cookie. Like, it's one cookie. It's not going to ruin your entire life. And so it's just the way that they talked about finding balance and also just not looking at that stuff, because I'm totally guilty of it on Pinterest and just looking at workouts and I see these very chiseled bodies and then I think about, and then there also is like skinny shaming and all of this stuff. And so, I know people won't agree with that, but when you say, like, this isn't what a woman looks like, this is what a woman looks like, and you're just, I don't know, it's just basically dismissing women for looking like how they look is wrong. and it's, again, put much more eloquently by other people. So I will put the episode, I don't know if I can link the podcast, but I will write the episode number and title below, and you can search it anywhere that you listen to podcasts, because I think it was really important, because a lot of that stuff's come into my life lately, and it's makes me feel really bad about myself, not gonna lie. So, yeah. So I just thought I'd share that little tidbit of information. But yeah, so I would like to do that more consistently, because none of us are perfect, and none of us have it all figured out. So as I'm learning as a human being and how to be better to other people, I will share what I find, and also being better to ourselves. So yeah, there's that. So I feel like I just did this because I just did. Patreon, that's what I want to talk about. So, because I didn't write show notes. So I am going to start uploading videos to my patrons on Patreon. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially a way for you to pay makers that create free media like I do for our time. And it's great. It's as low as $1 a month, and again, you don't have to. This is going to continue to be a free, I was a free program, but a free video podcast, because I love it. But it's encouraging me to do more, because I want to do more. I just do. So I just put that option out there for people if they choose to support me, and so many of you have, and I cannot thank you enough. You are helping us pay bills. You are helping me feel less guilty about spending time away from my daughter when I do something for myself for like an hour. Yeah, you're just making this possible. So thank you to all of my supporters. And every month there will be at least one video especially for you. And this month I'm going to record, if I have time after this, or I'll do it tomorrow, I'm going to record a needle review. So I am very particular about my needles, and I think a lot of us are. So I'm just going to go through all the needles that I have of the different brands and the different styles, and give you my thoughts, and if they're worth the money, if they're not worth the money, that kind of stuff. So that is coming, and if you're interested in that content, the link is in the description bar, and you can join in on that if you choose to. But again, no pressure. This podcast will still come to you free and as scheduled. Speaking of as scheduled, I'm going to be out of town from Friday to Monday at Vogue Knitting Live New York with my friends Jacqueline and Julie of Brooklyn Knit Folk and Sweet Sparrow, Sweet Sparrow respectively. And in that time and after, I will also be moving. So I'm moving back to my hometown which is literally 15 minutes away. It's not far. It's closer to Detroit, and we're super excited about it. So we're going to be moving. So this podcast will probably take a week off, but I'm going to be uploading New York City vlogs because I will be vlogging while I'm there. So stay tuned for that. But I just want to let you know that regular scheduled podcasting will probably not come until like the second week of February. Which it's just nuts that it's here, because we've known about this since like November. But it's crazy that it's happening and that it's here, and like my stuff is in boxes and I have to pack up my stash tonight. I'm packing up Eliza's room. It's crazy. So yeah, that's going on. And with that, I will move into works in progress, because I only have 2 works in progress. One, I'm gonna frog and redo. It's not my sweater. So let's talk about my sweater first of all. This is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Sorry for the clacking. I have some stitches on needles because it's easier for me to pick them up correctly if they're not on waste yarn. So I prefer to have them on spare needles. So since we spoke last, I separated the front and the back, and I finished, this is the back or the front? I finished the front. So these are the neck stitches, and I have these shoulder stitches on waste yarn. So then I already started working on the back, and I have about 5 inches to knit, about 4 inches to knit, and then I have some short rows, and then the ribbing, and then bind off, and it's crazy. I love this thing. I'm actually going to try to knit on this monogamously so that maybe I can knit the sleeves on the plain, or at least one sleeve on the plain. We'll see, and then wear it. I love this so much. So this is the right side. This is the right side. It is the reverse stockinette fabric with slip stitch spine. I love it. 1x1 ribbing. This is a sweater that I know I'm gonna reach for all the time. I'm knitting the size medium. I'm using the needles called for, so the body is knit on a US 9, and then 8s for the ribbing, 7 for the tubular cast on. It's great. Yes, I'm knitting the size medium. I would have knit the size large, but I knit the Wool and Honey sweater, also by Andrea Mowry, and I knit the size large, which is the size I needed for my bust, and it's huge. It's a tent. Yeah, it's massive. So I wish I would have knit the medium. I'm going to throw it in the dryer to shrink it. It's fine. I've done it before and I did it successfully, so I feel comfortable doing it again. And if it goes too small, then I'll just give it to a friend of mine. It'll be fine. Yeah, so I was a little bummed. And then I also heard a few podcasters talk about how big the large was that knit the size large. So I'm really excited to have this finished, and hopefully it will fit. I think it's going to. It looks just like every sweater that I own, so I'm very excited, like store-bought sweater. So I'm very, very excited, and I think it's turning out so well. The yarn that I'm using is Knit Pick Stroll Tweed in the Flagstone Heather and the Oyster Heather colorways, held double to create the worsted weight fabric, and I love it. I could knit about 10 more of these. Nah, not really, probably one more. Yeah, I'm really glad that I went with the Stroll because it's so soft. And I love Brooklyn Tweed, but it's pricey. So, like the fact that I got this, I think I got it when it was all on sale too. So it's like an under $50 sweater, which is crazy. So it's just the amount that I would spend in store for it, and it's gonna fit me well. And it's something that's giving me entertainment, and I just love it so much. I love it. I love it. And yes, I just did a screen grab. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So that's basically what I'm going to work on for a long time. For a long time. Monogamously for right now. Because I cast on my Holla hat, and I'm not super happy with it. And I think there are a few reasons why. So here it is. It looks really small, but it's brioche. So, I mean, brioche is like ridiculously stretchy. I'm only a few rows in, but this is like 5 minutes last night. It calls for a provisional cast on, but I don't like doing provisional cast ons. So instead, I think I'm going to do the 2-color tubular cast on that Andrea Mowry uses in her Harlow hat, because this is just brioche, nothing special. Yes, this is the Holla hat from Lane Magazine. I think it's Joanna, or I don't know how to pronounce her name. If you know, let me know. But she's designed a bunch of stuff. And I just don't know how to pronounce her name. So if you know, please let me know. I also messed up something here. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to frog this. The more that I look at it, the more that I love it. But I feel like something's just slightly off. And I think it's the ply of one of the yarns. So I might swap it out for another single. So what I'm using, this is all Stress Knits yarn, which is my hand-dyed company. I'm using 2 skeins of birch, which is just my cream with gray, which I love very much. Yeah. I am using one on my singles and one on my smooth sock, which I'm discontinuing because I think a 100% merino would serve a better purpose in my shop instead of this, and just keep my favorite base as my sock base. So this is gonna go away. I love it, but it's just not what I need right now. And I think this is what's messing up what I want. Anyway, and the other color is Etching, which is my dark gray. And then the contrast, it's a new base. It's a Surrey alpaca silk, and it's 378 yards, I think. And this is in my, it's very color accurate. This is in my Cheeks colorway. It's a very brown pink. And it's just so fuzzy. It's held double, so I wound it double together. But this is what it looks like. Those are the single strands and then held together. I love it. This is a dream. It's much softer than mohair, and mohair is very soft. Yeah, I think this is softer than mohair. I don't know. I don't think you could. I think I actually might use this for my no frills instead of the mohair base. So yeah, stay tuned for this in the shop. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, my Holla hat. I'm gonna frog it and start over. I think the cast on really bothers me, and so does the ply. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep going with it if we're being honest with ourselves. The more that I look at it, the more that I love it. But here are, so this is the wrong side, this is the right side. I actually think I really like it. We'll see. I'm gonna sleep on it. Okay. I do have a cast on adjacent. And also stash enhancement adjacent because, so I'm going to Vogue Knitting Live. I don't plan on going crazy. There are some things that I obviously want, but I don't know. I don't want to blow all my money on yarn right now. It's just not where my head is, especially with us moving and knowing, like, we need to buy new couches because these are super old. They're Doug's parents' old couches. And we need a new mattress because our mattress is also really old. Yeah, so like, I would just rather buy a few skeins of yarn than going crazy. So, in my fancy tiger bag, the Jen Hewitt one, this is a Christmas present from Doug that I haven't shown off because all the stuff went down, but I love it. I have my colors for my Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I'm looking for my 4th and 5th color. So I have Dior by Primrose, which I love. I got this at my first Rhinebeck. I actually was using this in my Sunset Highway, but I frogged my Sunset Highway because it was not bringing me joy. I didn't like it. So I frogged it, and it's going to be a part of my my Vertices Unite. And the other skein, I think I'm going to knit an Oslo hat by Petite Knits. I'm very, very excited about it. I love that. I'm putting my feet under the table. Okay, and then Fiber Story Fave Sock, which is 100% superwash merino and Mesa, and Woolberry Fiber Company in one of her small batches, which is a 70% fine merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon base. And it's in her teacup colorway, which is just, I love it. So it's these 3 so far. I think I need a darker one and another like medium color. So I'll be on the lookout for that. very excited about it. And yeah, that's about it. I do have some stuff I want to cast on. Like I said, I'm going to cast on a no frills pullover. And I think I'm actually going to do it in Cheeks, which is this colorway. I love this so much. So that's coming up. Also, the Boxy by Hohi Locatelli is something I want to cast on very soon. And I think I'm going to cast it on in one of my new colors that I'm going to show you. It's actually a new old color. I haven't dyed it since I opened the shop. And then for the Cal, which is a knit-along that I'm kicking off on February 1st, I'm going to knit the Ronin by Andrea Mowry. So, I've teased this before, but let's talk about it really quick. So on February 1st, I am kicking off the Cozy Sweater Cal, K-A-L, on Instagram and Ravelry. And essentially all you have to do is cast on February 1st, knit an oversized sweater, so anything with positive ease, and finish it by April 1st. So 2 months. I'm giving myself realistic expectations because the Ronin is a beast. I am going to shorten the length a little bit because I've seen shorter people. I'm barely 5'2", and I don't have super long arms. So there's pockets, and I want to be able to put my hands in the pockets and be cozy. So I might shorten it a few inches, but this thing is a beast. It's huge. So I'm very excited about it, and I know I'm gonna wear it so much. Yeah, so that is what I'm casting on for the Cozy Sweater, K-A-L, knit along. And again, it doesn't have to be knitting. If you are a crocheter and you want to crochet a giant sweater, absolutely you're allowed to do that, okay? But just knitting and crocheting, because I don't think there are any other, because I want this to be yarn related. I don't want it to be sewing, because I don't sew yet. Goals. Yeah, so that's coming up. I won't be podcasting in between now and then, so this is putting you on notice. Get your sweater quantities or wind up your sweater quantities for this knit along. Some ideas if you need them. So the Ronin by Andrea Mowry is a really great one. The Boxy, Hohi Locatelli, No Frills, Petite Knits, the Rosemont by Hannah Fettig. These are all just off the top of my head. The Booth Bay by Hannah Fettig. The Classic Ladies Raglan by Jane Richmond. The Timber by Shannon Cook. These are also all sweaters that I'm knitting or are going to knit or have knit, which is why they're all on my mind right now. But there are plenty out there. So, yeah, even the Flax by Tin Can Knits. Oh, also the sweater has to be an adult sweater because it's 2 months. Okay? 2 months adult size sweater, oversized with positive ease. And by oversized, I mean at least like 2 inches of positive ease. Weekender by Andrea Mowry would be a good one. Yeah, so I hope you guys join in. I'm a little nervous. I do have prizes. They're all in my cubby. I will show them off next time, but it's basically stuff that I've bought that I just no longer need in my stash. It's a lot of sock yarn because I'm just not a sock knitter right now. And it's all stuff that I love very, very much, but trying to minimize, which is my word for the year, trying to minimize and just get the unnecessary stuff out of my life and just living simpler, smaller. It's very important to me right now. So there will be a few prizes. I'm very, very excited. I've wanted to do it along for so long, and this is thanks to the Patreons because shipping is expensive, especially overseas, and I don't want to exclude people from the knit along. So yeah, I want to do prizes and I want to be able to ship them out worldwide. And so thank you patrons for allowing that to happen. because it would not be possible without you. It's just not in the budget right now. So thank you. All right. I'm gonna move into a stress knit stuff. We are having I'm having a shop update on Wednesday, the 23rd, so tomorrow, of January. More info will be on my Instagram. So follow me at Stress Knits Yarn if you are interested in finding out about that. So, and the link to the shop will be down below. It's also in both my Instagram accounts. Yes, so it's a very small update because I just wanted to dye what I had left, and I haven't been buying yarn because I know that we're moving, and I didn't know if I was gonna have time, and I didn't know if anything would happen, because our post office has been super weird lately. They've taken forever to get packages out. They are taking forever to get letters out. I have to send for like the third time something, and I'm so annoyed because it's just sitting in a mailbox and they're like, oh, we'll get to it. And I'm like, just get to it. It's fine. Like, don't have drop boxes, don't have what's it called? Mailboxes if you're not gonna check them. Because there was a letter that needed to go out, and I was like, yeah, I put it in your mailbox and they haven't gotten it, so like, is everything okay? And they're like, oh, we never check that mailbox, nobody ever puts stuff in it. Then don't have that mailbox. It's fine, no big deal. But if anything's been delayed to you because of my post office, deepest apologies. We're getting a new one. Because the one that I drop off packages at most of the time is really great, but the one over in my neighborhood is awful. I love my dog. She's perfect. She's so good. She's so sleepy. Okay, so we're having an update. Yes, so it's very small. So I have 2 colorways and fingering weight on my favorite base, and they're both from the advent calendar. So this is Thunder Snow. Also smells just so good. That's very accurate. It just reminds me of the way the world looks during a snowstorm that has thunder, which is thunder snow. It's one of my favorite phenomenons. Love it. Oh, it's just so good. Yeah, so this is Thunder Snow. And then I will also, this was called Oh Dear, but I want to name it something else that's more, I don't know, I think Prudence, or Dear Prudence, I'm not sure. Yeah, I was listening to the Beatles the other day, and I was realizing how much I love all of the names in their songs, because I'm just that person. But I think this feels very Prudence-y, so I love it. It's just a very pinky brown with sharp, I don't know if that's happening, just some sharp, deep pinky red speckles that I love, love, love. So those are the 2 that are going to be in the shop. And then I have some worsted weight, which I'm very excited to start offering. So the first color is Esther, because I mean, right? It's just a really pretty tan. It's actually the same as the base color in this. So it's a very pinky brown, which I love. So this is Esther. This is Lake Effect, which was also in my advent calendar, and I love it. It's just such a good, like, sagey green, but it reminds me of the way the lakes look during Lake Effect snow. I don't know why, but it just is. I love this color so much. And then this is an oldie but a goodie. This is actually what I think I'm gonna knit my boxy out of. This is called Perfectly Adequate. I got the idea because I used to watch John and Hank Green, the Vlog Brothers, and they're talking about John Green's cameo in The Fault in Our Stars that got cut out of the movie. And apparently the director said perfectly adequate, totally usable about his performance, and I thought perfectly adequate was just the funniest. And that's what I named this colorway. And I haven't dyed it probably in like 2.5 years. I just love it so much. Or 2 years? I don't know if I've been dyeing. I don't know. Losing my mind. 2 years. I dyed this to go along with my color field shawl by Kemper of Junk Yarn. And yeah, I dyed this to go with Bell Jar, which was also one of my first colorways, and it's just the most perfect little shawl. And I love this color, and I just haven't dyed it since. So perfectly adequate, a good medium gray. I love it so much. So these 3 will be in the shop. Yeah, that's it. So tomorrow, probably around 2, I'm hoping, if Doug, because Doug has to work late since we had to take Eliza in to the doctor. He was super sweet and went into work late so that we could both go. Because sometimes I feel like they don't take me seriously. I love our doctor very much, but sometimes the nurses, I feel like, don't take me seriously because she has a low-grade fever right now, and they're like, you know, it's not a fever until this, right? Like, we don't consider it. I'm like, okay, but this is still, like, not normal for her because her temperature is usually 3 degrees lower than that, and that's a big difference, and she's very sick, so I would rather be cautious. So I was really happy that he went with me. Because, man, I have a lot of feelings about that, but not to share here. So, yeah, that's it. I am going to record my needle video for my knitting needle video for the patrons on Patreon. Again, if you want to join in, no pressure. This is coming to you completely free, as always, and will always be completely free unless you choose to become a patron. Again, no pressure. You don't have to do it. I really appreciate it. It really helps me. Like, you have no idea how much it helps me. It also validates me a little bit. It makes me feel like people want this content, so that makes me feel really good. So again, thank you to all of my patrons. That video is coming up hopefully in the next few days, and then maybe today, but in the next few days. And then I will also be uploading a video about what knitting I'm packing for my trip to New York. So I'm really excited. If you see me at Vogue Knitting Live, say hi if you feel like it. You don't have to. I'm a pretty, like, this is essentially how I am. I'm a little quieter in person. I'm really short. It's just me. I'm just a person, so don't feel intimidated. Like, I've had people say that they never want to say hi to me. And I'm just say hi. I'm just a person. It's not a big deal. It's okay. I'm a person. Yeah, so come say hi. I'll probably give you a hug if you let me, and we'll chat for a little bit. And I promise I'll make you feel better about your life, because I will be very uncomfortable the entire time in the best way possible. So if you see me at Vogue Knitting Live, say hi. And yeah, I will talk to you in like 2 weeks from a new location. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.